dead zone from the first quarter and almost to the half. Ooh, I got it. Here we go again. Another break. And that's what gives me the flatter trajectory. So you'll find there are some motors, like 2845s. This is now, finally, the best driving WL style car that I have. We're doing a redemption for Rlaarlo. Here we go. This is the AMX-12. And let's look inside. So we switched out the pinion. We're running a 19 tooth. We're trying out the 19 tooth because I think the 17 tooth would be too light of a pinion. It'd be quick, but it wouldn't be fast enough for this track. So we're running a 19 tooth. I would run a 17 tooth if I went up in like a KV or like just motor size. So if I went with a higher KV, then I would try the 17 tooth, which I'm building another one with the 17 tooth. So we're gonna see what that feels like. Went ahead and put a Hobbywing ESC in there. I didn't like the little delay that the stock electronics were having. We're still gonna keep the transmitter. We're gonna see if that Dumbo RC actually works pretty good. So we're gonna give that a test and see if there's any difference in between the two. So let's give this a shot. Running a 2200, which is not a battery I normally run, but it's the one I have charged right now. So we're gonna run this the way it is. Oh, also went down on wheel size. Why is there so much play in that? Okay, looks good. Here we go. So if this car goes 42 miles an hour with the 27 tooth pinion, my guess with the 19 tooth steel, this motor, oh man, I don't know, probably like 35. Around that 30, 35-ish range. I ran another, actually it might even be slower than that. I ran another another WL with the same setup with a 3800 kV motor on a 19 tooth, and that one got 35 miles an hour. So I'm not sure if this is going to actually hit 35, but it feels pretty quick around the track. Feels okay. It's definitely a much better driving setup for the track. I don't know if I would consider this a contender against an LC though. That steel slipper is really heavy, so I could feel that that momentum shift when I'm trying to like throttle. So we just gotta pop these back on. I need to fix that wall over there. That's a quick straightaway. I like that speed there. Such a weird car. Okay, so here we go again. Another break. Let's look at this close. Third time out here testing an AMX-12. Chained up the shock tower, that snapped. Outdrive cup in the rear, that also snapped on the 27 tooth pinion. So now we're running the stock motor 19 tooth pinion along with the smaller diameter tire, and shock collars removed. The adjustable shock collars. So let's see how this drives now. Hopefully it's a little bit better. So every time this actually hits something, I notice that the ball cups will pop off. It's good and bad at the same time. It's not going to break anything, but at the same time, it should be strong enough to actually hold on to an impact. Jeez. It's like something's actually grinding in there. God, it sounds terrible. Alright, so I think I fixed the chainsaw sound. So yeah, so that drive cup, what needs to happen is it needs to be, when it comes loose, it just needs to be set further back. That way it sets correctly in the shaft, and that way it's not hitting on other things that are in there. There we go. Now we're driving way better. I can feel nothing's catching on now. So before it was definitely having an issue with okay, now we're talking. Okay, I definitely see a difference. Okay, now we're talking. So it's actually driving pretty decent now. I don't know if I like the steel slipper still, but definitely, this is definitely the correct gearing for this motor, unless you go higher kV. And if you're going to go higher kV, then I would go 17 tooth. So what I'm noticing about this setup is that they actually use like a stiffer spring and a very light shock oil, and I've never done that before on any of the LCs, so I'm noticing how it drives differently compared to like an LC in regards to that. The LC definitely feel a little bit more of the shock movement compared to this one. So now that I've adjusted everything and got this actually kind of tuned in, this is now finally the best driving WL style car that I have. Well, I actually built one that's also really good too, so kind of hard to say which one's better, because it's kind of the same idea as this one. Catch there. I got it. Oh, that was clean. I did it again. Oh, maybe I know how to do it now. That's dope. It's a little wild, but it works. All right, very promising. Finally, I almost gave up on this car like 10 minutes ago, so for it to be driving this way now, very happy with it. Gotta give it just a little bit extra throttle at the end of that jump. That way it levels out. So let's do that now. There we go. So I'm actually letting go of throttle and then resuming throttle right afterwards. But I'm letting go at the very tip of the jump. Right? Actually, I would take that back. I'm actually pushing through here. And I'm actually throttling it to about to this area right here, just slightly. And that's what gives me the flatter trajectory. So you'll find there are some motors, like 2845s. Those have an extreme, like, kind of drag brake feel to it. And that's the same thing that you have to do when you're driving those type of motors. Like the higher gauge 2045s, if you don't have the correct weighted pinion, or if it's just not geared correctly, it's not going to have the wheel speed that you kind of need to keep the momentum of your car going straight, like a flat jump. All right, that's a good battery. That's a good run. So we got it all dialed in, and let's look at it one more time just to make sure we know what it's needing to be track capable. So let's take you off, and we're running the stock brushless motor, 19 tooth pinion. I didn't go with the 17 tooth that came with it because it would just be not fast enough, way too much torque. 17 I'd probably run like with a 3S or something like that. That would probably be a good like a dirt type of vehicle, give you like a lot of torque down low. Running the BL30, that's just an LC ESC, gives you a lot more throttle control in your range and throttle movement. So what I was noticing about the stock ESC, that there's completely a dead zone from the first quarter and almost to the half. So it's very hard to control this car with that ESC. It seems like the transmitter completely is a normal transmitter, so that doesn't need to be replaced. And that situation I was having with the loud noise, what was going on, basically on these drive cups, you have to make sure that when they're screwed as far back as possible, and you want this shaft to have a little bit of play. And what was going on is it was probably just too forward, and it kind of just gave it like a wobbliness to it. So it's actually not bent, which I thought it was. That's a good thing, and it actually kind of drives really good right now. So not bad. Just from the first drive that I had, I did break the drive cup, I did break the carbon fiber shock tower, and those were within the first few minutes of driving. So now that we kind of got it tuned in, I think it's capable, but definitely not my favorite. So I would put this in like the EC30B range. So let me take out an EC30B. I just got a brand new one in the box. So let's go ahead and take that out, modify it, and we're going to run this versus a EC30, and then we're going to run it against a WL, and then we're going to run it against an LC. So not bad. I give it a not bad rating. That's what I'm going to give it for now. So completely different from what I thought it was going to be from the first